Hello, Facebook Live. Marcus here, and I am out on the mountain right now, running, doing a 3-mile run at Sam's Point. Huge milestone for today running. It's beautiful up here, by the way. Look at the lake. It's a little windy. Right now, I'm with the border collies. They're out here with me. 3-mile run, running around the loop. It's a little icy, but a huge milestone for me today running. This is actually day number 365 right now. I've been running since Christmas Eve last year. I haven't missed a day in 365 days. It's a milestone. I've never streaked for 365 days before. I've done 100 days in a row before, and ran many more miles throughout the course of a year before, but I've never ran for 365 consecutive days. There were a couple days I did a bike ride or a 3-mile uphill hike. I get myself a little leadway to not have to run every single day. So I'm gonna turn the camera around here because, let's see, that's what the trail looks like up here. This is the windy side of the lake at Sam's Point. So hopefully you can hear me talk. Windy and wet side. My foot just got really wet going through here. Did not wear my Gore-Tex shoes today. So day 365. A lot of people have been, Marcus, how did you do it? How did you run for 100 straight days, 200 straight days, 300 straight days? Well, I'm going to break down my strategy just as I get past this wind tunnel here. That's the Lake Maritanza. It's warm up here. It's about 30 degrees, a little over 30 degrees up here. 55 in Ellenville. All right, so I'm almost past this wind tunnel. I'm going to break down my strategy for being able to do this for 365 days. All right, so reverse camera. Here we go. All right, so today's a 3-mile run. A few years back, 5 years ago, I ran 2,000 miles, 1 marathon, 7 ultra marathons, more than 26.2, and 1 double marathon. It was 4 or 5 years ago. That was an amazing year of running. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to repeat that again. A lot of discipline goes into that. There were weeks I was running up to 80 miles a week, 10 in the morning, 10 at night. What I had done 5 years ago was so unsustainable and unenjoyable that I didn't want to get myself back into that predicament. So what I did was, last year, after my mother had passed away, I needed something to keep focused and keep my mind off of my mother's death and be able to take care of my father, who had since passed now in August. So I basically set a very realistic goal for myself of doing basically 1 mile a day. That's it. 1 mile a day. Most days is much more than 1 mile. Today's 3 miles. Some days are 6 miles. But after I'd started doing this, within 4 weeks, I was up to running 18 milers again. And my friends were training for a marathon. I said, no, I'm not doing it to train for a marathon and burn out and run that much. And I scaled way back from there. So the idea was making this goal so easy to attain of doing at least 1 mile a day. Most days is more. Today's 3. And carving just 10 minutes out of my day to be able to honor myself physically was the most important thing for me. And no matter if I was traveling to Italy and I had to get on a flight, there were days I got up at 3 a.m. to get on a flight, to get out of JFK or something, that I got up a half an hour earlier to honor myself and do that 1 mile, no matter if it was pouring rain freezing weather. I did it in Italy. I did it every time I traveled. There was one day back in September that I went in and out of an airport here in New York and went to Florida for one day in and out to do a speech. But for 1 mile, 10 minutes or 8 minutes that it takes and a couple minutes to lace up, and that was nothing for my day. So after 100 days, it just became like clockwork. It was like, okay, that's what I'm doing today. No problem. It just fits in the schedule, and that's like that. Even today, with as busy as I am, I was able to carve out 3 miles, which is 30 minutes up here on the mountain, 10 minutes back and forth. So maybe 50 minutes today, three miler. I run a lot more down in town a lot if I don't have the time. So one of the most effective things in goal setting is to make the goal attainable. And then once you make it attainable and you can reproduce the goal over and over, then you can start doing habit stacking or goal stacking. So for example, after my 1 mile run, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, a minute plank. So that's super effective to habit stack. I just did a great video on the 10 steps of fantastic habit forming. That was one of them. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate a lot of people on while I'm up here running in this beautiful, beautiful Cragsmoor, Sam's Point. Just astonishing. The dogs are with me. It helps when you have good running partners that hold you accountable, because these guys hold me accountable a lot. Baxter and Barolo. Yeah. They're my running buddies. I ran many days with them this year, and Baxter's been my running trail partner for years, and now Barolo is out on the trails with us all the time too. So I take them both together. So it helps to have a good environment, because these two don't know when to say no. All they know is that they are running, and they don't care if it's raining. They don't care if it's icing. They don't care if it's windy. They don't care if it's cold. They don't care if it's 100 degrees out. These two are great accountability buddies. So accountability buddies is another key factor to have when setting goals. But just wanted to share my milestone with everybody. Today's day 365 consecutive days of running in a row. People are asking me, what's next, Marcus? I'm not sure what's next. This is such an ingrained habit or ingrained part of my life that I have no idea, no plan on stopping. So maybe I'll run 360 days this year, maybe 335. I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't put that much thought into it, because I made the goal so easy and so attainable and part of my everyday life that I'm just going to keep continuing and see what happens. I'm not going to, set another thing to say I'm going to go another year, but who knows what's going to happen. I could go another year. I've known people that have gone 5 years, 10 years. There's people that have gone 30 years and 40 years of running at least a mile a day outside. And no, my knees do not hurt. I don't have any injuries. That was another thing. When I've ran many more miles in the past, I've had some injuries like plantar fasciitis, some back pain, things like that I've worked through and gotten through, but I've had no pains this last year. And I probably averaged at least 15 miles a week. So 15 times, 52 miles. So, I'm at about 700, 800, 900 miles for the year, but it doesn't feel like it because it was such a gradual, easy pace. So, again, folks, if you're just tuning in, I see Jeff on, I see Man on, Ezio, how's it going? Over in the Poconos, Steve, who's probably in Florida, Joe, who's a fellow runner, Greg Berger, what's going on, Greg? Christina, so Don. So I'm up at Sam's Point right now celebrating my 100 days of running in a row. It's a 3 miler run. I'm sorry, not 100 days, 365 days, 1 full year of running in a row every single day, have not missed a day. And I'm out here. My feet are wet right now. They're soaked. Got the dogs with me, the border collies, and I'm going to get back. I've done a 1.6 right now until I stop the timer here. It's a 3 mile loop. If anybody's interested in knowing, it's a 3 mile loop here. About a 400-foot incline. If you go up the left or the right-hand side, about 400-foot incline. And all right, thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Everybody have a fantastic Christmas. We do a soup kitchen at Aroma Time. We're feeding about 600 people, 500 people, something like that. We were in the kitchen all day today cooking. There's potatoes on the stove right now. I got to get back. If you want to donate and help us pull that off, we have a GoFundMe account. Go to aromatimebistro.com, scroll down, hit the Christmas Day soup kitchen thing, and there's a thing there. If you are in the area, you can do some baked goods. If you can do some baked goods, we're looking for baked goods, cookies, pies, cakes, things like that. And if you have anything homemade, bring it in. Families can use that. And we've been doing that 17 years. So, all right, folks. Thank you, everybody, very much. And we'll talk to you later.